Do you know what, yeah? I want to find an intro that, like, suits me, but it's just nothing that... There's nothing that's not making me cringe right now. Like, okay, I give it to you. All right. Hey guys, it's your good sis Janelle Daniels, and I'm back at it again with a motherfucking video. Clink, clink. Oh, I don't know. Hey guys, it's your girl Janelle Daniels, and I'm back at it again with another motherfucking video. Get into it. So today I want to talk about really my school experience. I'm probably going to title the video growing up around white people, or growing up in a white school, or in a white dominated school, because I really want to talk about like racial differences and just not really bring awareness to it, because people know, but I want to let people know that I know, we know, so we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it, because especially with all the things that's happened recently, like with the Meghan Markle thing, I just feel like a lot of people like to pretend that it's not happening, and it's happening, okay? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. It's 2 a.m. Baby's asleep again, because that's the only time that I can get some time to myself. Got some wine, some rosé, baby. There's some cheap rosé. So I'm a bit hyper, a bit more hyper than usual. But, you know, I deserve it. I've been changing nappies all day, so, you know. Chin chin. But yeah, I would just like to talk about my school experience, really, what happened to me growing up. So let's start off at year 7. Year 7. I went to a school in Newham in year 7. I started off at school in Newham. I wanted to go to like more of a Catholic school, an all-girls school. If you're from the area, you'll know what school I'm talking about, St. Angela's. But I didn't get in for some reason. I don't know why, but I didn't get in. So, I mean, I got good grades. I don't know, maybe because I wasn't a member of the church or something, I don't know, but oh, let's not get into that again. Don't drag me in the comments, please. I'm sounding like some atheist. But anyways, I didn't get into St. Angela's, so I had to go to Royal Docks, and it was horrendous. I started in September, I left in December, bitch. By Christmas break, I was gone. Yeah, but it wasn't because of anything. I mean, things were going on. I feel like not everyone got bullied at that school, but it depends on how you wanted to look at it. You know, banter is banter, but, you know, and especially being dark-skinned, it wasn't very fun. But that wasn't the reason why I left anyways. My mum got married, and we moved to Essex, so I had to move schools, and I moved to a couple of schools. I moved to one school called Bower Park, and I fit in there very quickly. It was fun. It was more Caucasian than what I'm used to, but everyone was quite accepting. It wasn't like a very posh school. It was just very, if you're from the area, you know, it's a bit, well, Jeremy Kyle. But, you know, I'm gonna get dragged in the comments. People are gonna drag me, but I don't give a fuck, bitch. I'm ready. No, I'm not gonna reply. But, you know, but yeah, I went to Bower Park, and it was fun. Like, it was actually, I had good memories. I got into a lot of bad shit. I got into a lot of stuff that I'd never seen before. As much as the Royal Docks was like, ooh, child, the ghetto. I didn't see like people smoking and things like that. I went to Bower Park. I see a lot of people get into some shit. Like, my friends that I ended up being friends with, they used to pick up weed from their mum. Mind you, I'm in year 7, the earlier half of year 7. And that's what used to happen. People were having sex, people were faking prees. But I ended up leaving because my mum thought I could go to a better school in the area. I was still on waiting lists, I think, for other schools. I'm still not very clear on what happened. So I ended up going to a school called Emerson Park EPS. EPS, yeah, which wasn't that far. It's in the same kind of borough, but I guess it was considered a better school. They set me up with, you know, like when you start school, sometimes they'll set you up with someone to look after you because you're new and you don't know what's going on. Already, when I started the school, I already had some reservations, you know, because first of all, I've come in school from Royal Docks and Borough Park, you know, with the hood, the ghetto. Like, I was like, yes, bitch, like, with my Just Do It bag. I was still doing my braids. I wanted to wear my trousers. You know what? Little secret. If you know me from back then, I idolised a rapper called Shiesty. I don't know if you know the rapper called Shiesty. Like, I was obsessed with, I watched Kidulthood in year 6 with my cousins, and I was just obsessed with that kind of life. And as well, I was going through quite a bit with my family. I was like, yeah, I'm from the roads, I'm from Newham, fuck this Essex place. Fuck this Essex place. I'm from Newham, bitch. Like, I ain't no Essex girl. I ain't no fucking Essex girl. Bitch, this rosé is touching me. So I came in like wet, and already it was like on the walls, it was like, you girls can't wear trousers, you have to wear a skirt. And I was like, anyways, so I started already, and when I started, you know, my Just Do It bag coming in, like, I had my 2 bars in my bag. I was ready to clash anyone. I was ready to clash anyone who was up for it. Yeah. Because even in Borough Park, as much as I moved to a different school, like a complete different area, we were still clashing in the school, you know. Like, the little kids, the boys, they'd get their fags out, their short ties, like this short. Yeah, and I was like, oh, yeah, you can't clash me. RESPECT. It was in the short skirts. Everyone was very girly. All the girls had their designer bags. Everyone had a designer bag. Like, if you know Emerson Park, everyone had a designer fucking bag, a handbag at that. No girls was walking around with backpacks unless you were like emo, like. And even the emos still had the little designer, like, sis. Everybody, you know, was just wearing makeup. I wasn't really into makeup those times. So I was like experimenting, but it wasn't for beauty, it was just for expression. It wasn't to fit in. Whereas if everyone, it was like, you know, everyone was trying to bag a babes. Like, everyone was trying to, you know, like, started Emerson Park. They set me up with this girl, and she was part of a group called the GBGs. These were called the GBGs because they were named after they were called the Green Bench Girls. Basically, there were some green benches in our school that people would sit at lunch, and apparently they dominated there. Even though I rarely saw them there, I guess I missed it, you know, because I started late. But yeah, so I got set with them, and it was very clear to see that these girls did not like me. Yeah. So, you know, they ditched me eventually. It'd be like a hey, passing by, but it was like, I don't know where I'm going and I'm too scared to ask you where I should be going, kind of thing. I'm not gonna talk as if I'm a victim, by the way. I am not a victim, you can tell. Like, looking at me, do I look like a fucking victim, or I've ever been a victim in my life? Do I look like a victim? Do I look like a victim to you? Emi Janelle Temitope. I'm not gonna say my whole government name, you bastards. Went to that secondary school. I'm not gonna talk too much about Emerson Park. It wasn't the best experience. I made friends that was very known eventually after I found my group, which was obviously the bad girls. I had some friendships there. There's a couple people I still am cool with. Obviously, I met my best friend there who wasn't in my year group, but, you know, that's my sis for life. Shout out to you, Simisa Lavivi. So, I ended up finding my group, and I ended up, you know, settling in, I guess, to the norm. But it always felt like I wasn't myself. My mum never let me out, so I I never felt like people would come in on Monday and then everyone would be talking about, what was the places that these people used to go? They used to go to one park. You'll know where I'm talking about. If you're one park and get drunk and everyone would kiss each other, to be like, this person got with this person got fingered in the park. And as much as obviously I wasn't trying to get involved with that ratchet shit, excuse me, as much as I wasn't really trying to get involved in that ratchet shit, I did feel left out. Like, you know, friends that they were building friendships where, like, you know, their parents knew each other, you know, they were sleeping around each other's houses, they were going even on holidays together, and I just was always like, oh, Janelle, she's so funny. Yeah, Janelle's aggy. Don't say that to Janelle, she'll fuck you up. That kind of thing. I was never like, you know, like, come to mine, like, or come to my birthday. It was rare, like, you know, people invited me to things. I felt very isolated. And I won't blame that on colour. I feel like colour has a lot to do with it because I always felt like I had to be the clown. I acted out a lot during secondary school, partly because I was trying to find my identity. I could never be the pretty girl. I could try, you know, I got into weaves really early. From year 7, boom, a bitch was doing a 16-inch premium too. A bitch was doing a 16 premium too. I got my little handbag. I got my little Louis Vuitton bag, yeah. I got my knee highs. I was rolling up my skirt like the rest of them. So you could see me batty when I, no, I'm joking. It wasn't that thing. Mummy, no, I wasn't doing that. I was a good girl. I was doing the things like the rest of them, trying to fit in. But it just still wasn't like, I was still Janelle. Like, you know, people would come up to me, the kids would be like, yo, what you saying, blood? We saying blood? And it was like, I don't even talk like that. Even when I started, it was a proper thing because I used to say duh instead of the. And they really made me feel like shit about it. Like, they would be like, duh, why do you talk like that, though, blood? And I really had to go home and be like, that, this, that, no, Janelle, this, that. And I learned, you know, I changed my accent a bit and I started fitting in a bit more. And I was liked, but I wasn't appreciated, I guess. So, finished school, left with some friends, I guess. But you know when you know you're just never talking to her again? It's like, yeah, oh my God, I'm gonna miss you so much. At prom, you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss you so much. Oh my God, yeah. And it's like, yeah, fuck you hoes, bitch. Never liked you anyways. Suck a dick. Fuck your mothers. Fucking rich, spoilt bastards. Don't give a fuck about me. I don't give a fuck about you. You can kiss the blackest part of my behind for all I care. The thing is, it's not beef. I think I just resent them because as I've gotten older, I see what they represent in society and I see the unconscious bias like behind a lot of things that I was feeling, and that's why I would act out and do certain things because that was where I would get attention, you know, like I was the fighter, I was the loud one, I was the one that would do crazy stuff, do you know what I mean? I was the ratchet one. That was where I fit in. So, I finished secondary school now and it was a thing to go to more of a, it was very, you know, some schools, it doesn't really matter your academic grades in terms of like, you can't, it's some schools, you know, in like in America, it's kind of cool to be dumb. Well, that's how they portray it on TV anyways. It's like, you're a nerd. It's not very much like that in the UK. Like, I'm not saying that's how it is in the US, but obviously on like TV, that's how they portray things. In the UK, it's like, it's the opposite. It's like, if you're in bottom set and you're not doing well, it's like you're a loser. And if you're like trying to go to, I don't know, just do nonsense after school, it's like, what are you doing? If you're like the more intelligent you are, the more appealing you are. So when everyone was going to a certain college in our area, I didn't want to go to that college because I thought that, you know, I was better than that. And so did my family from, you know, speaking to other people and stuff. So we tried really hard to go get me into a sixth form in Brentwood, which is where I live now. And I got in. And I went, and it was the worst time of my life. I'm going to tell you a story today about how a 15-year-old, when I was 17 in the first year of college, told the whole of our school that I gave him fellatio, and the police ended up getting involved because he was underage. So I started this school, let's call it St. Matthew's, because I feel like I need to actually give it a name. In Essex, we always refer to people with their first and last names, and we always refer to things by the road, or we're very like formal with things. So it's like, I feel like if I don't give it a name, I'm gonna slip up and say its name, and I just really don't want to. And yeah, I started this school, and when I first started the first day, it's not secondary school where they're gonna assign you with someone, you know, to look after you. You know, when it was a sixth form school, so a lot of people that were there, they'd come from the secondary school, and just, you know, they didn't change, like they're not new, do you get what I mean? So they've all known each other from year 7, whereas I've just come in, and I'm from a complete different area. As much as it's still Essex, it was very much the more posh side of Essex. And I started, and I knew a couple of people. There were a couple of people that did go to my secondary school, or I knew like just around the way, but we weren't friends. So when I got there, it wasn't like, oh, do you know, let me help you out, or let's chill, or let's have a little chat. It was kind of like, you alright, mate? What? It was the first time I really felt like, you know, Mean Girls, where she goes to sit, is it Mean Girls, where she goes to sit in the toilet in the loo with her lunch? That's literally how I felt. We had a common room, and nobody would speak to me. Nobody had any interest, even in my lessons, for months. No one ever thought, you know, like, who's this girl? I've never seen her before. Not one person, not one. I would just sit there on my own, and no one would speak to me. Until one day, one girl and another girl, I'm just gonna say their names because I haven't got anything bad to say about them. They were lovely to me. Tammy and Elizabeth, shout out to you. They spoke to me, and I think we had a lot of, we had common friends because they went to a school where they knew, it was a girls' school, that they knew a lot of boys that went to a boys' school that was in our area, kind of thing. And I was going out with a boy at the time that went to that school that was quite known, I guess. So through that, we started speaking. I just spat everywhere, that's disgusting. And yeah, through that, they brought me into their group, thank God, I guess. You know, thank God that I had friends, you know, but like they did invite me to stuff. We even did Secret Santa, which was really sweet. But apart from those 2 girls and one other girl, it was very informal. It was, again, like I said, it felt like everyone else was really close and I was just a bit on the outside. Like, it was kind of like, yeah, we'll invite you to the stuff we have to, but, you know, like, not the stuff we really want to, kind of thing. So, and that's no with this to the girls there. I don't have a problem with them. I don't really give a fuck. You're not my kind of people anyways, so I don't really give a shit. But I do feel like culture had a lot to do with it. I do feel like I was a very black girl. As much as, yeah, I can be like Essexy. I know myself, I know my culture, I know where I'm from, and I'm very aligned with that, you know, and I don't pretend to be something I'm not, kind of thing. So anyways, I would chill with those girls at lunch, and yeah, it would just be that way it was. And again, outside of that little bubble, no one was really interested in me. People would literally talk to people right next to me and say nothing to me. No one was interested in getting to know me. There was nothing I did. I could come in serving looks, honey, and no one really gave a fuck. Apart from one black boy that was in my year and was in my lectures. And we're gonna name him, Popeye, because he was, at the time he wasn't, but now he's very like macho, like, you know, muscles, like, you know, muscles like when you take steroids. I'm throwing so much shade in this video, like this rose, it's not my fault, it's the rose, it's not my fault, it's not my fault. Let's call him Popeye. So Popeye, we ended up talking and we were cool, you know. He was again from Dagenham, which is not far from, you know, where I kind of grew up in terms of like the blacker side of Essex. And he was really like cool. Like, he was cool people's at first. He was alright. It's not really my type of person. Again, like, to me, just all these people just were not my type of people. But he was alright. Like, you know, he was the most relatable in comparison to everyone else. So, we would get the train together, especially when I would get the train to go see my boyfriend who lived near that end. I would get on the train to go with them, with these two girls that I met, some black girls who were in the lower school, so they were still in secondary school. They were in year 10 or 11. But because I could relate to them the most, these black girls, we would all get the train together. We would wait after school to get to the train station and get the train down that end. And it would be a thing where I would notice, like, on social media, like, he would message me and he'd be really, like, maybe not nice to me. I won't say, like, you know, he would talk to me a lot. He would be very interested in speaking to me. But when we were in person or in the common room, he was very much like a bully, I would say. He would banter me a lot. He would kind of act like, oh, it's Janelle, kind of thing, but then be in my inbox like, hey Janelle, we doing? Like, you know, like, we were cool, like just a normal person on inbox. I'm not even gonna say he was begging it, do you know what I mean? Because he was, to me, he was my friend as well. But in college, I don't think he would feel confident enough to say that, especially because he was a black boy that was very accepted by the white people. I think he went to the school with them, like, growing up. They were very much like, oh, Popeye, like, you know, like, that's my guy. And then it would be like, hi, Popeye. And he'd be like, what it's like. So, and I took that, I was just like, whatever, like, don't really blame him. I don't really give a fuck about any of these anyway. It's like, not being funny, I wouldn't look at you twice if I was outside. Like, you think a whole me will go for someone like you? Hello, magic. Hello, magic. Hello, magic. Hello, magic. Got any magic? Yeah, so eventually I started meeting more of the black people, which were more spread out through the years. And I met this boy, let's call him Patrick. I met Patrick and he was in, I think, year 10 or 11. And at that time I didn't know he was in year 10 or 11. And when I first saw him, I was like, he looked quite grown. And I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. And then eventually we started speaking and I found out his age and I was like, oh, you a youngin'. You ain't, you know, whatever. And he was a bit, you know, he would go into my DMs, just DMs. I say DMs as if DMs was a thing there. Facebook, just talking, you know, trying it. And, you know, the type of person I am, especially back then, I'm very new to attention. So I'm not going to be like, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Who you talking to? I'm going to be like, stop. You know, like, no, seriously, stop. You know. Like, I'm not gonna give you an attitude because you think I'm sexy. If you think that, that's your business, you know, that's your business. There's nothing I can do. I can only tell you where my head is at. And if you want to carry on dreaming, that's your business. If you want to carry on pursuing it, waste your time. Yeah, he would message me and I just really was using it as time to pass because, again, my mum never let me out still at college. I couldn't just be like, yeah, mum, going cinema, see you later. No, my mum would be like, cinema ko, cinema, masinini. That's what my mum would do. She would reverse the words. Haha, well done, mum, you're bare funny. No, it actually was hilarious sometimes, but that one just wasn't. But anyways, so yeah, so I would just, you know, I was a Skype queen. If you know me, I'm the Skype queen back then because I had no life. So I would just meet people online. So me and him would just talk, really, just to pass time. And it's the same with Patrick. We would talk about school and stuff and just, you know, banter each other online, whatever. One particular day I come in actually, and Popeye, he has a friend of wider black and ethnic boys that they chill with, and they always banter me. And this particular day it was a bit too much. Blick, referring to my skin colour a lot. I was quite used to it. In secondary school I got it. I always get it with black boys, and it kind of gave me a bit of anxiety about black boys, being around black boys, because I know they would cuss me. But with this date, it was a bit too much, and I ended up losing it. You know, teachers got involved. I ended up losing it because it was kind of like, you're not going to cuss me, like, on a good day. On my worst day, I still wouldn't go for you. So you're not going to call me blick when you're as black as me, if not blacker than me. And you're not even fine. You're not even a fine boy. None of you are. You are no one special. After this college and all this cool, like, yeah, I'm a black boy and I'm so funny. You know, with black boys, they tend to set trends, just like hip hop is popping right now, and rap culture and all of that, and this and that is popping, and whatever black boys do, people follow. Same thing in smaller settings. Black boys are funny. Black boys have banter. When black boys say stuff on the back of the bus, everybody's creasing, everybody's laughing. So, yeah, I was the butt of the joke, and everyone was laughing at me in the common room. Everyone was calling me blick, even though people didn't really get the jokes that much because they're not in the culture, you know? Like, there were little names and things. I can't remember specifically, it was so long ago. I'm 24 now, and this was when I was 17. So I don't specifically remember what exactly they said, but they were making fun of my skin colour and all this other sorts, and calling me ugly and all this sorts, and it just ended up, we just got into it. I was like, who the fuck you talking to, though? Who the fuck you talking to? Obviously, back then, I wasn't the woman I am today. Now, I'll just be like, pay it dust. But then I was heated, because it was like, first of all, you're supposed to look out for me. I'm supposed to be your sister, you know? Like, even if you don't care for me like that, then mind your business and stay out of my fucking way. Why are you coming for me? Anyways, after that, it comes out in the conversation that they blurted out. That's why I heard that you sucked Patrick's. What? 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 You sucked Patrick's what? And at first I thought it was a joke. And I was like, okay, when, bitch? When? And the day in particular that he said after school that I did it, I was with Popeye, which was one of the boys that was pantering me. And at first I just thought, you know what, you're just trying to get under my skin. That's what they do, because they used to say they carried on doing it with me because I reacted to it. I react funny, so that's why they love doing this to me. So I just thought, whatever. Mind you, the whole of the school doesn't know that. The whole of the school doesn't know how ridiculous that is. And within a day, next day I come in, I'm having different people come up to me and ask me if this was the case. And then over the months, this would become a running joke. You know, if someone wanted to get at me, they would use that. They would say, at least I'm not, you know, giving fellatio to a 15-year-old. And it became a thing. It really did become a thing, even though it's come out of nowhere. I've never been alone with this guy. I've never been to his house. Like, even when all of us used to get the train, he would never get on the train. I don't think he lived in the areas that we were going to on the train, so I would never be around him. But for some reason, obviously, I had no loyalties in the college. No one really was my friend like that, as I said. Even the group of girls that I was hanging around with, they didn't really care for me. So it was like, no one was sticking up for me. And it was like, I just looked like this girl, like all these stereotypes of this girl is fast and she's this and she's that and she's rude and she's ratchet and she's ghetto. It was just very believable that I did that to a 15-year-old. To the point that a teacher overheard, and it ended up getting to my mum, and my mum ended up getting brought back into school. And the police were called because he was underage. And as well, this idiot, this is how much, I even forgot this point, this is how much these people wanted to torture me. There was a picture going around that this 15-year-old was telling people that was about me, was telling people that was me, yeah, or giving someone fellatio. that looked like it was him. But this person looked nothing like me. This person was much lighter than me. This person had red hair. But because people didn't care for me so much, I would ask people and be like, surely you know this picture looks nothing like me. And they'd be like, I don't know, like, maybe you had your hair changed, like, maybe da. And obviously, as you know, with the law, it's illegal to post any pornographic pictures. It's not illegal to pass around and send any kind of pornographic material. So the police were called and all the things were sorted out. And people had to admit they were lying, you know, in front of my mum and that. You know, it was a big deal. And eventually, I ended up flopping in that college anyways because I was always preoccupied with some bullshit. So I had to leave anyways. I ended up going to the black college with the niggers. Yeah, the niggers. 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 I am so drunk, like, it's embarrassing. I just thought I'd let a little bit of my funny personality come out today. Anyway, shut up, Janelle. So yeah, I ended up failing, and then eventually what happens when I leave the college? And I told you, these irrelevant assholes, these irrelevant bastards. You know what? I don't blame Patrick in the situation. He was 15. I would want to lie that I gave him fellatio too if I was him. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm not gonna really, I have no problem with him. I'm not holding it against him. My main problem was with Popeye because he would go into my inbox and be my friend, and when no one was there, he was my friend. The day in question that he said I did this thing, I was with him, but I wasn't good enough because I was dark-skinned to be friends with him in front of everyone's face. I wasn't good enough. So I blame him. And then on top of that, that same Popeye, when I left that place and went to another college, that same Popeye was telling people that me and him were friends and he was trying to be my friend and trying to be nice. And I'm not gonna lie, I forgave him. It's only when I reflect back in the situation, and even when I speak to my mum, she don't forgive him, because it's like, there was no need to do what you did. You can say you was immature, even to a point when I do speak to some boys about it, they're like, we fancied you, that's why you was acting like that. Like, at the end of the day, that's not a good excuse. We're not in primary school that you just be slapping girls about when you fancy them. We're not in primary school anymore. If you like somebody, you're supposed to be nice to them, not give them hell. I used to cry at that college like every fucking day because people were just calling me black, charcoal. I knew anything to do with darkness or sun. Oh, it's open season for Janelle Daniels. It's open season. It's open season. Hey, everybody's going to be coming for me that day. I felt like I had to try so hard at that college. And it kind of echoes how I felt at secondary school as well. I felt like I'm always trying so hard and I still don't fit in. It's still, excuse me, this rosé is killing me. It still didn't make a fucking difference. No matter what, I was still that dark-skinned ghetto-ass bitch that nobody wanted to be public with. At the end of the day, no one was seeing me. I wasn't seeing anyone. I had a boyfriend that I was very in love with, but it still was too embarrassing to just say that girl's cool. She's all right. That's all you needed to say. This rosé is doing me, is doing my body like as in. Yeah, after that, I even ended up going to his church, Popeye. We got really close, but when I do think about it, it does irritate me because it was like, it's now that it's kind of cool to be dark-skinned and, you know, no one, that whole fuck black chicks is not really popping no more. Like, you know, you will get dragged the fuck if you try. He even said to me, like, you know, I'm not like that anymore. Like, I don't even like light-skinned girls anymore, you know. Like, chocolate emoji, chocolate emoji. Like, fuck off, you dickhead, you knobhead. When I was in college, you was dragging me in the mud, telling people that are holding me. Janelle tell me talk about like doing it. Shh. Me. a whole Janelle Tell Me Talk was doing nonsense with a 15-year-old. You need to fix up. Now you want to be inviting me to church and being nice to me. That's what these niggas do. So if you're, I just want to put a message out there that if you're in secondary school and stuff and you're feeling like, you know, like people are bantering you, calling you blick and all this stuff and making fun of your skin tone, and they being your, because that's what they do. Even the white boys till this day, these secondary school boys till this day, that they all acting like they don't know me. They be in my inbox trying to take me out and to dinner and all this stuff, trying to talk to me. And it's like, bitch, where? But you had nothing to say to me in secondary school. I was this crazy black gorilla. Yep, gorilla, monkey, got called all of that. But now you want to be in a bitch inbox talking that shit. Yeah, I just wanted to say that if you find yourself in that predicament, it's not forever. And black boys, you need to really fix up. I'm not saying it's all of you, it's really not, but you black boys that are living predominantly white areas, you kind of try to force yourself to fit in by acting like a douche and a dickhead to your counterparts. And then you want to complain about how you get treated by black women. You simps, you coons. What's that uncle in Django? That is you. That is you. You're a sellout. That's what you are. Calling me blick and making fun of my skin tone, but now you want to be under my Instagram post doing chocolate emoji. Bye. Bye. So yeah, that was my video. I feel like I was again too drunk for it to be very a patterned video, let's say. But it is what it is. I wanted to get my story out and just give you a little bit about me, so that you know a bit more about me, like what I've been through, why I am the way I am. And let me know if you want more and what you want to talk about. I really love talking about racial issues. I promise to God I'll be more serious in the next video. I promise to God. And that's all I wanted to say. And if you were mentioning this video and you have a problem, suck my dick. Bye.